Welcome to Coding Literacy Flakes 23 of 40. We'll be looking at one part of the processing that occurs with data, and we're looking at sequencing. Sequencing simply means putting things in the right order because the programs will follow in an orderly fashion. If you don't put things in the right order, then you get an outcome that's not correct. So let's get started. We shall call up Notepad++. Again, any text editor will do. Okay, this is the basic structure for a HTML5 web page. Doc type with exclamation in front that notifies the browser we're using HTML5. HTML tag on and off indicates the web page starts there, finishes there. Head on, head off indicates to the browser that there'll be stuff or codes in there that won't be shown to the user. Body on, body off will be codes in there that will be shown to the user. So we need to add on another language besides HTML because HTML is very restricted. So we'll add up a language, and the language we're using is JavaScript. So script is the tag that the browsers need to know that we're using JavaScript. So script on, script off indicates we're using JavaScript. JavaScript, I'm using a procedural way of doing JavaScript. I need a function. So function, it's very case sensitive to make sure I spell it correctly. Function, I'll call this function silly robot. Okay, and all functions must have a parenthesis opening and closing, and the instructions for that function needs to be entrapped within braces, an opening and closing brace. I'll have two functions, function silly robot and function clever robot. Okay, and again the parenthesis is part of the function, and the brace indicates the instructions of the function. Now they're ready to type in some functions. Now the whole point here is I'm going to show you that sequencing is quite important, because if you don't do it right, you're going to get the wrong output. So let's have a look. Document type is document right is a JavaScript syntax, and I'm going to just put some text. The text is with quotations, and the syntax document right is in parentheses. So I'll need to type that in, and I'll type in something like a robot. Okay, pour boiling water. Okay, the robot's going to pour boiling water, and we'll leave it at that. Now I'll give some instructions to the robot, and let's just copy that. Control C, go across down here, Control V. Oops, I missed it. Just try it again. Control C and Control V. Okay, I'll put a couple of instructions. I'll put about 4 or 5. Okay, leave that space there, and one more. Okay, so you got 5 instructions. So pour boiling water. Then I'm going to ask the robot to pour milk. Okay, so pour some milk, and then we're going to ask the robot to get cup. Now we're trying to make the robot make me a cup of coffee, you see. So it's going to pour the boiling water first. It's going to pour some milk. It's going to get a cup, and then it's going to put let's put some sugar in there. Put 1 teaspoon of coffee. I'm going to sugar some coffee. Okay, coffee. There we go. And those instructions are incorrect. I mean, if the robot does it in that order, they're not going to make the coffee. It's going to be water all over the place, milk all over the place, but the robot won't know any difference because I've given instructions out of sequence. It's a silly robot. And I'll pretend it's intelligent. Well, it's pretty intelligent. You got it wrong. So now I'm going to blame the robot for something that they did wrong, but in actual fact it was me programming, not the robot itself. Okay, let's just do the function again, but this time we're doing it in correct order. The correct order is function document type. Actually, document type. Document right, I should say. Okay, Now the first thing the robot really needs to do is robot get cup. Okay, it gets a cup. And enter that. Now doc, so we'll just copy it again. Control C. Oops. Control V. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's got 5 instructions. Okay, let's keep this tidy as well. Right, now this case gets a cup. This time robot put the coffee next. Put 1 teaspoon of coffee. Same instruction, but in the proper sequence this time. Okay, and then we're going to pour boiling water. Pour boiling water. Okay, and then we're going to pour some milk. Okay, and then this is going to be a clever robot. Clever robot. You got it right. There you go. So in this function here, the clever robot function, the robot gets a cup of coffee, puts a teaspoon of coffee, puts some boiling water in there, pours some milk. Did the right things as a clever robot. In this case, the robot poured the boiling water to nowhere, poured some milk to nowhere, got a cup, and then put a teaspoon of coffee. It's a silly robot. So the robot is silly here, but it's clever there. Again, robot has an IQ of 0. So you, the programmer, are given the instructions, and really the problem lies with your instructions, not the robot. Let's call them up. So I'm going to say here, robot, make me a cup of coffee, please. Okay, that's what I'm asking the robot to do. I might just put some header in there. So HTML header 3 this time, and the header off right there. Okay, now I need to fire up those functions. To do that, I'll use an input process, but I'll use a button. Button's pretty simple. You can use touch screens, joysticks, mouse, all sorts of things. So button here, button type equals button. I have a plain old button type. Okay, and on click. So I'm going to use a mouse. If you click this button, it's going to fire up the function called silly robot function in quotations. Now that's here. It's going to call up this function with this button. I need an instruction of button. I might call this the silly robot button. Okay, silly robot, and it's the end of the button tag. Okay, that does that. Now I have another button. I just might as well copy that actually. Control C, go down, Control V. But this one's going to fire up the function called clever robot function. That's this function here, the clever robot function, and the button's be showing clever robot button. Okay, there we go. Let's just save that. So file, save as JavaScript 3. Save it as HTML. It's a web page. Save, and it's all got it all saved. Let's have a look at it now. I'm going to fire it up using Chrome. Okay, there it is. Robot, make me a cup of coffee, please. And that got instruction from here in the body section. Now it's got a button called Silly Robot button. That's the Silly Robot button there for label. but it's going to fire up this function here. This is a clever robot button. It's going to fire up that function. So look, if I click on that, and there it is, robot pour boiling water, robot pour boiling water, robot pour milk, robot pour cup, etc. It's got the wrong instructions. Let's fire again, this time with the right ones. Get a cup, there it is, get a cup, teaspoon, it's all working well. But it's not in different lines, is it? So it's not very good. Okay, you can add tags inside the JavaScript text or strings. So I actually want a line there, so I just put I can put a HTML tag, a break, okay, in there, and I'll put a break in here, and I'll put a break in there, and I'll put a paragraph break here. So you can't mix and match a HTML tag inside a JavaScript string. Okay, show what it means. If I to say that and then run it here, see robot, there it is. Okay, there should be a paragraph break there. So okay, and I'm going to do the same for the other part here. Let's just put in there break, a break here, line break there, a line break here, and a paragraph break over here. Okay, and let's just save that, and let's just run it now. So if I was to hit here, robot make me a cup of coffee please, silly robot, it does that. Over here, if I got a clever robot, it does the correct sequence. Actually, what I don't understand is why there's not a paragraph break occurring here. I'll have to investigate that. Give me a second. Okay, I realise what's the problem. The problem is I haven't actually finished that tag off. Okay, let's finish that tag off. Let's save it now, and it should function properly this time. Okay, make me a cup of coffee, please. And there it is. Okay, it's got the whole lot there. It's out of sequence, it's done the wrong thing. Pour boiling water nowhere, pour milk nowhere, gets a cup of coffee, then puts a teaspoon of coffee in it. Wrong sequence. But this one here is a clever robot. It's done the right thing. Got a cup, 1 teaspoon of coffee, boiling water, and milk. So it's a smart robot. Thank you for watching.